Becky Hammon aborted Caitlin Clark plan to help Aces end losing WNBA streak. The Las Vegas Aces head coach has won back-to-back championships in 2022 and 2023, but has seen her team struggle so far this year, making a change to their game plan to stop Caitlin Clark this weekend. Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammon had a game planned against Caitlin Clark, but had to make a change during the game to help her team defeat the Indiana Fever. The Aces have been one of the better teams in the WNBA over the last 3 years, having the best win record alongside championships in 2022 and 2023. But they've struggled so far this season, losing 5 of their previous 6 games before facing the Fever on Sunday evening. Gearing up to stop Clark's incredible offensive abilities, Hammon had planned to throw different defensive looks at her, giving the Fever star little space to operate and force mistakes. But after Clark started the game strongly, Hammon admitted that she ditched the game plan and instead went back to something that they'd been more accustomed to. Speaking to reporters after the game, Hammon said, "We talked about Caitlin. Pockets are her money. You give her any kind of space in that pick and roll. That ball is gone, and they're getting layups. I thought they got that in the first half, and then we were able to switch up our defense too. I guess something more doable and something that we could execute better than the original scheme. I think I called a timeout with about 6-something left in the first quarter. So yeah, I'd aborted it about 4 minutes later." The new game plan looked to be an old reliable for Hammon, using her best defensive and overall player in A'ja Wilson to give Clark a tough time. And while Clark finished the game with 19 points and 10 assists, Wilson's ability to switch up onto her clearly impacted the Fever's offense. Indiana had struggled to create the looks that they'd have wanted, with Clark being forced into tough shots. Meanwhile, fellow guard Sophie Cunningham struggled mightily in the game, going scoreless in 17 minutes with the Fever forced to feed the ball to their forwards. Wilson, though, registered 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in 34 minutes to go with her defensive masterclass performance. The Fever and Aces have both not had the start to the season that they'd have hoped, with a 6-7 record. Clark and Wilson have both missed time for their respective teams, and we'll be hoping to get them back on track after both returning in the past week. In a season where headlines have been dominated by rookies and rivalries, one moment of strategic brilliance shifted the narrative, and it had everything to do with Becky Hammon, Caitlin Clark, and a plan that never fully saw the light of day. The Las Vegas Aces had hit a wall. Once untouchable at the top of the WNBA standings, the team stumbled into a rare losing streak, 3 games in a row, each loss more frustrating than the last. Critics started whispering, was the Aces dynasty cracking? Had the rest of the league figured them out? And lurking in the shadows of his turmoil was a date circled on every calendar in women's basketball: Aces versus Indiana Fever. The matchup promised fireworks. On one side, the reigning champions. On the other, the league's most hyped rookie in years, Caitlin Clark, a scoring machine and media magnet, whose range stretched from the logo to the clouds. For Hammon and her staff, this game was more than just a chance to end the skid. It was personal, it was professional, and it was going to take a masterstroke of coaching to win. The plan: Becky Hammon is no stranger to high-stakes basketball. She sees the game like a chessboard, always 3 moves ahead, and against Caitlin Clark, she knew standard defenses wouldn't cut it. So she drew up something special. The plan, insiders said, was built around relentless trapping, switching coverages mid-possession, and throwing atypical defenders at Clark, sometimes guards, sometimes forwards, even post players. Hammon wanted to confuse Clark's reads, cut off her rhythm, and force the rest of the Fever to beat them. For 3 practices straight, the Aces drilled the scheme. Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum learned to double from unpredictable angles. A'ja Wilson practiced hard hedges out near the 3-point line. The goal was to smother Clark mentally and physically. It was ambitious, unorthodox, and risky. Then, just a day before the game, Becky Hammon did something no one expected. She scrapped the entire plan. The pivot. Reports say Hammon walked into the final team film session and asked a simple question: Are we trying to stop Caitlin Clark, or are we trying to find ourselves again? Silence. Then a few nods, a few murmurs of understanding. Hammon closed her laptop and stood. We're not playing against hype. We're playing for us. We don't need gimmicks. We need execution. With that, the so-called Clark plan was aborted.